So, any questions on the quiz with everything?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, does someone want to come up and do it? Number one. Did you guys have a problem with number one? Said everything. Which one?
Just all three of them.
They're a different order. So 231 base 4 in base 10. Okay, first of all, we have to figure out what are they saying. So what are they saying? They say 231. This is in what base?
Base 10.
Base 10 or base 4? So it's actually in base 4. So you can look here and say, oh, well, there's no numbers above 4, right? So they're going to be counted by 4. So this is base 4. Okay, and we have to convert it to base 10, right? So, what does the 1 represent? And let's just say the first decimal, or the first place value to the left of the decimal in base 10. What does it represent? Ones. Okay, what does the second place represent? Tens, and then hundreds. So we noticed that there's a pattern in how we break down the place values. So the first one, we can write 1. How can we write 1 otherwise? In the form of 10 and an exponent.
10 to the 0 power.
10 to the 0. So 10, we can write 10 to the 1 power, and 100 would be
10 to the second power.
10 to the second power. Okay? So that's how we would write these different place values. So we kind of want to erase this off because sometimes the translation from here to here gets lost when we think ones, tens, hundreds. Okay, we want to think in this exponential place here because it'll be a little bit easier to translate. Okay, so now we go to the ones place in base 4. If base 10 has 10 to the 0, what should the ones place here in base 4 be? 4 to the 0. Then 4 to the 1. Then 4 to the 2. Okay, so now we can kind of translate back and say what is 4 to the second power? 16. For the first is 4. 4 to the 0 is 1. Alright? So first we have to say, okay, how many 16s do we have? 2. Okay, so we'll just write 2 times 16. Is everyone okay with that? Okay? And if you're not, just quietly under your desk, just no. Thumbs down. I want indicators on what you're understanding, what you're not. Okay? So don't let me go on if you're not. Okay, so we have 2 times 16. And then how many 4s do we have? 3. So we have 3 times 4. Okay, plus 3 times 4. And then we have 1. How many 4s do we have? That 1. So we do 4 times 1. Okay? Now, since we're doing base 10, it's a little bit easier for us to translate what that number is. So let's add it up. So 2 times 16 is, yeah. Question?
Oh, okay. I was just going to say for the last one, it would be 1 times 4 to the 0. So it's 1
So
it's 1 times 1.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. 4 to the 0 times 1. So we just have 1. Thank you. Is that your comp too? Perfect. Okay. So we have 2 times 16 is 32 plus
12.
Plus
1.
and we get 45. So what is that in base 10? Well, it's 45. 5 ones, or 5 10 to the zeros, and 4 10 to the ones. So we get 45. Want to do one more? Okay. All right. So let's go from base 10 because the other ones were base 10 to base 6. I kind of always like to write a roadmap of where I'm at and where I'm going. Translate it into English because who finds math language really annoying sometimes? Sometimes I do. So base 10, base 6. Okay, so let's do 243. Okay, so we have 3 what? 10 to the zeros, 4, 10 to the 1, 2, 10 to the 2. And now going from here to here, from base 10 to base 6 is kind of like a guessing game in the beginning. Because we're not really sure what place value to start at, but we know, first of all, what our place values mean in base 6. So what does our first place value mean in base 6? 6 to the 0. Just go ahead and shout them out. Okay, so we're going to have to find a number that gets to, so in 243, we're going to have to find out how many 6 to the 3s you have. If you don't have 6 to the 3s, then you work your way down. If you don't have enough to fit into this box. Does that make sense? So let's figure out what this number is first so we can kind of translate it in base 10 a little bit better. So what's 6 to the 3? Anyone on their calculators? 216. This is 36. Okay. So do we have at least one 216? Yes. And it's kind of lucky that I started out with 4 place values. I didn't really know. So we could have even gone 6 to the 4. Do we have one 6 to the 4? And we would have said no, right? We don't have enough. But we have enough for how many 216s? Just one. If we do it 2, it's going to be more than that. Okay, so we just have enough for 1. Now we have that basket of 216s, and we're going to take it away from the 243. Okay, so let's just say 243 minus 216. Is everyone okay on that step? Okay, so let's do some subtraction here. Gonna carry. So we have 13 minus 6 is. So we have 27. Is everyone good on that? Okay. So we have 27 left. Now we have to try and figure out how many 36s there are. Are there any 36s that we can take from there? No. So we'll just go ahead. 0. Are there any 6s? How many? 4. So 4 times 6 is 24. So we'll subtract 24 from there. We'll put a 4 here. So we're going to subtract 4 from there. We have 3. What are we left with? What are we trying to find groups of now? Groups of 1. So we have 3 groups of 1. We'll just subtract that 3, and we'll get 0 left. Okay? So we have 1043 in base 6. Are there any questions on that before we move ahead? Okay. So, you guys had 2 homework assignments, correct? Last night? So you had the repetend and the decimals and scientific notation. Before we talk about the repetends really quick, do you have any questions on the decimals, scientific notation? Okay, and while I'm thinking about it, because I'll forget, Brother Piper's not going to be back until Friday. So if you have any questions, I'm just going to leave my email. And if you want to get together, I'm more than willing to do that. So here's my email. Okay. All right, so no questions on that. We'll go to how big is the repetend. So what did you guys find out? What was the pattern with the repetend? First, what is repetend? Do you need that up? What is a repetend? We break it down. What is the base of the word? The root of the word? Yeah.
It's what repeats in a decimal.
So yeah, repetend repeats. It's what repeats. Okay, so if I have 4, 6, 3, 6, 3, we could just write it 4.63, and that repeats. Okay, 6, 3, 6, 3. All right. So what do you guys notice about the pattern? He asked you on number. Let's see. Number 5. He asked you to predict. Said without performing the division, what do you think the maximum length the Repetent could have in the decimal representation of 1 over 23. So that was a lot of math words in there. So he said, what is he asking? Yeah.
See, how many times like a decimal will go until it repeats again?
Okay, so he's saying, we're going to have this amount, and then it's going to start repeating that pattern. Okay, so he's asking for 1 over 23. What did you guys find? Were you guys able to find a pattern? Thumbs up if yes, thumbs down if no. Thumbs up if yes, thumbs down if no. Okay, so some were, I need all thumbs up. I just want to scan, make sure we're here, good, or no. Okay, so some weren't, some were. So we have about 50%. So let's go over that. So, first I want to talk to your partner. See if your partner, to the left or right of you, understood it. If not, then group with some people behind you or forward that understood it. So just about 1 or 2 minutes, what did you find with the Repetent? And then we'll see if I can't say it, if you guys can.